To miss a minute is to miss a lot. Thanks so much. Thanks for calling. And let's face it, you've got friends on Facebook. And I'll tell you what, I kind of wanted to talk today about some of the things that everybody seems to be experiencing in their lives along with this pandemic.
Attention all football fans. If you can't see your team play, come and dine with us and watch it live at Boardman, Canfield, or Cortland. Or staying at home, we'll deliver right to your door. That's Coca's Pizza. We serve it hot.
Coca's Pizza, they serve it hot. And if you can't go out to the game, you can always go there to watch the game. So, Kallie, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. You're from the Mocha House in Youngstown. And as we were saying off camera, a lot of people don't even realize that your restaurant's there or your coffee house, or how do you label it? Is it a coffee house, restaurant, dessert bar?
So the way that also, hello, by the way, everybody. Hi, I'm Kallie. Thank you so much for having me, Justine. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
A little bit about our store. So the Mocha House, basically, there's a lot, you know what I mean? So it's hard to just name it a coffee shop. It's hard to just name it a bakery. It's hard to just name it a restaurant. I just kind of blend all the terms together. A cafe, eatery, and bakery. That way people know there's a lot, of different options for them.
Cafe, eatery, bakery. I like that. Now, what's your hours, your location, all that good stuff, so we can get that out there so everybody knows you're there.
Of course. So our third location is located on 120 East Boardman Street, right in downtown Youngstown. If you guys are familiar with Eastern Gateway Community College, the easiest way to describe it is on the first floor of Eastern Gateway. We're also just a couple miles away from Youngstown State, too, which is a perfect prime location for students, good for our business people around the city. We got a lot of foot traffic as well, good for the residents around the downtown area. We're just right there in the middle. So our hours right now are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and then Saturday, 9 to 3.
Now, I'll tell you what, the Mocha House, you guys are famous for that cheesecake. It is amazing. You did drop a piece off here the one day, and he's like, even though he's Mr. Keto.
I love cheesecake. I love it.
And he loves coffee, too. And I think during the coffee that we had the taste test going on, I think she stumped you.
She did.
She did.
I think I did, if I'm not mistaken. Plenty more where that came from, though.
That's amazing. Now tell me, is there one main hub that you guys do all of your desserts out of? Are those homemade recipes? Because everybody knows the cheesecake.
Absolutely. So the Mocha House, we just opened in January downtown, but the Mocha House name itself has been around for almost 30 years, guys. 30 years. So it all started in Warren, downtown Warren, Ohio. Yep, and that's the main location. The second one is in Boardman. Third one is here downtown. But all of the pastries and everything come from the home store, and then it gets, shipped out to Boardman and Youngstown locations. So that's kind of like our little gem in downtown Warren, and that's where all the magic happens, if I do say so myself. I mean, there's some serious talent coming out of that bakery, and it's amazing.
When I think of your bakery and I think of downtown Youngstown, and it's a great location where it's at, it's like almost right on the corner. I keep thinking of way back in the day, all the little old ladies making the cheesecake, making the bread. It's time to make the donuts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, is it still that way today? Or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with 3 locations now, they're super busy. You can imagine. They have to have their system in place. I, myself, try not to make their life too difficult, with putting my orders in, but at the same time, serving our community, making sure that those cases are stocked, getting people what they want, getting people what they need. The holidays are coming up, so I mean, you can imagine how busy it gets for that as well. Yes. So absolutely. I mean, the bakery has expanded itself. It used to be in just one little part of the downtown Warren location. Then it expanded into a bigger bakery in and of itself, because of course more business equals you need more room to work.
Exactly.
So and then they have an awesome team down there too. So they're amazing.
Now I'll tell you, I've eaten at the Mocha House, and you're right. It is an eatery as well. I mean, between the sandwiches and everything that you guys have to offer down there, I don't know how you guys all keep the menu straight because there's so much to offer. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. I think they think it's just a coffee house. I think they think there's just desserts there, but there's so much more.
There is a lot more. Something I've been working on as far as, so we had to get through COVID and everything, which I'm sure we'll touch on later. But after things started picking back up a little bit, I myself have been trying to go around the community and hand out menus to businesses and other, things like that. That way people do understand what all we have to offer. Now, when it comes to training and learning the whole menu, sometimes it seems intimidating, for some of our staff. Obviously, when you see a whole menu, you're like, I have to learn all this, but over time, it's, you get used to it. You get used to the food. You get used to what people love and things that become famous over time, I should say.
Now, let me ask you this much. Since there's 3 different locations, we've got the one in Warren, and of course, you guys are the one in Youngstown. The food's all the same, but is there something from your store that radiates people more than maybe from what they did in downtown Warren? I mean, there's different people, different communities, and it just seems like what goes in one place may not necessarily go in another.
Sure, and it's funny that you say that because the staff and I always talk about, man, like these used to sell great in Warren. Why are they not moving here? Or vice versa. They're moving here, but I remember we never used to sell these in Warren. Just different things, Around here, we've noticed a lot of drinks. We can't keep up with the coffee drinks itself. Making those. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just like people are going to work, they're going to school, they want to grab and go and everything. So like we consider ourselves craftspeople for drinks. I mean, we love doing that kind of stuff. And we love to offer that to our customers. Now, as far as pastries go, needless to say, the cheesecake and the cakes go very well.
Oh,
you know
I
what
bet.
I mean? The pies do. The dry pastries, like the muffins, the cheese danishes, cinnamon rolls, those seem to go like crazy
Baklava.
up here.
Do they have baklava?
The baklava, we do have that, yeah. So it's like we tried to figure out a pattern, but it is hard. I mean, one day somebody will come and they'll grab 10 cookies, all at one time. Some days we're like, why are no cookies selling today? You know what I mean? So it's very hit or miss. It's just whatever people are feeling. As far as the food menu goes, I would say that everything goes. There's not, at all the locations, our roast beef, we're famous for our roast beef. We have a roast beef dinner, and we have an open-faced roast beef on the menu and a pot roast melt. And everybody who I've talked to, mouth-watering. I mean, it's really good. It's tender and everything like that. So that's one consistent thing. But obviously, you're going to have a little bit of a difference between all the locations. Different, like you said, different community, different,
Taste buds,
if you would say, yeah. So we're trying to keep up, figure out the pattern.
Oh yeah.
Can I tell you something? This might be some business advice for you guys down here. So there used to be a company that would go down to all these office buildings and they would bring a menu in and they would get used to like placing an order and delivering their food to each one of these, like the PNC building and the Ohio one and all that kind of stuff.
Do you see how he's working this? Do you see how he's begging?
We do deliver. Side note.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that was a great addition, and I never experienced that having offices down in Struthers and whatever. But because there's such a density of people down here, they had actually food delivery downtown before Grubhubs and Uber Eats and stuff like that.
So, like I said, we do have it. We have it out of our store. So we have our staff delivering to businesses only, though not residencies. We deliver to businesses for a $20 minimum. As far as DoorDash, we did start DoorDash as well in June. So that's our residents.
That
catering to the residences, right? DoorDash and Grubhub, not too sure. I mean, we'd be open to that. You know what I mean? We haven't really done too much of Grubhub, but I'm always open to new ideas. Whatever helps us get to the most people. Let's just say that.
Okay. Now, you are the main manager down there, correct? So everything falls... I know this because her and I were emailing back and forth this morning, 6:30 this morning?
Yeah, that alarm clock wakes up.
Yes,
it wakes me up
does.
bright and early every day. So, yes, my family, so my parents and I, are part owners with the Warren owners.
Okay.
So we're a part ownership at this location here downtown. And that means that I'm there every day of my life. Every day, all day. Definitely a huge transition for me in terms of going from a staff member I started at 16 years old. 16. So staff member, moved up to manager, learned the ropes there, and then now an owner. So it's been a journey, to say so the least. It's definitely a learning experience by far. I learn something new every day. I mean, I'm very thankful that I had the experience that I had, but there's so much to learn still, and I'm very excited for that.
And when you stop learning, that's when you're in trouble. Every day you learn. I learn something new from Joe every single day.
Really?
Yes, I do.
So glad
Look
I'm
at that.
influential.
Yes, I do.
Learning is good. I love it.
It is. Now, a typical day for you, of course, we know emails start flying around 6:30. I think those started. But on a typical average day, people don't realize the amount of time and the dedication it takes, not only to run a business, but especially in the food industry.
Correct. So this is one of the toughest industries. That's not to say that hard work isn't given in every industry. This is just a specific industry where a lot of hours need put in, and whatever you put in literally is what comes back. So if I were slacking, let's just say I felt like slacking off one day, people are going to be unhappy. Customers are going to be unhappy. If I'm not focused every day, it's like a domino effect. So me, I have to start my day early, be organized, prioritize. I make a lot of to-do lists for sure.
You sound like Joe. Are they on the wall? Is there a vision board on the wall?
Not one of those people that I try to do everything. Like, I try to make others people's lives easier, even if it makes mine harder. I just bust it out and that's it. However, I've learned to delegate because not one person can do everything, of course. So everybody's learning their role.
Right.
Typical day for me, I wake up bright and early, get to the store, open up, and I get excited to see our customers. I mean, I'm like ready to roll in the morning and all till the afternoon. And then, you know, sometimes my days are like 12 plus hours just ongoing. Sometimes it doesn't even end when I get off of work. Sometimes I have to go, you know, to the store and get stuff, things like, for example, like, I don't know, it's fall now, right? So we had to go out and get fall decorations and like all that little behind the scenes stuff that puts a lot of hours too. Sometimes we'll run out of a product. We'll have to run to the store and get it. Like all those little things like that is time consuming too. So if I don't have a clear mind, it could be a hard day.
Oh, I bet.
So definitely
Plus doing
I try to be on top of things.
Payroll.
Absolutely. Yeah, all that's part of it too. So I'm very thankful though, like our partners are so experienced and they're a great support system. And they know everything that I'm going through, they've already gone through times however many years. And that's an awesome, you know, like I said, support and good resource there. So anything I need, if I'm not sure about something, I just call them. I probably call Warren a few times a day, asking them, you know, different questions like, hey, how much is this? Or, hey, how would I price this? Or how would I do this? Because I want to make sure it's consistent too.
Right.
You know, that's very important as well.
Now, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking, Kallie?
I'm actually turning 25 next week.
Good. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You've got a lot on your plate, no pun intended. And you've learned so much already of the business. That's amazing.
Definitely.
Now,
25, I was not as well put together.
No, I was still deciding, oh gosh, what shoes should I wear today? Not having a business sense of mind at all. So I you know, give you kudos for that. That's amazing.
Your peers are nursing hangovers while you're up sending emails to Justine.
Yeah, that's what we did.
See, I didn't.
Bright and early. I mean, I felt bad emailing you that early. I didn't know what the day was going to look like. I just wanted to make sure I was here on time.
I'm like, ooh.
And that's part of it too. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, every day's different, but overall, it's so worth it to do what we do because seeing the look on customers' faces and just even one simple coffee, how it can make somebody's day brighter.
Oh, sure.
You know? So even all that tough stuff that happens sometimes, somehow I become a stronger person. I mean, I don't know. I can't explain it. I was not a strong person, let's just say even a couple years ago or even last year around this time. I feel like I had to grow a thicker skin or else, you know, I would lose myself every time. Just even if the smallest inconvenience or something happens, you know, I handle it a lot differently now. You know, I'm like a stronger.
Good for you.
So I'm proud of myself for that.
Yes.
Now, your staff down here, was it brand new? You hired everybody or did they come from other stores?
It wasn't all brand new. No, we had some veterans that came from Warren. So I being one of them. And then like a good handful of us came from Warren as well. So they had a lot of that knowledge and that backbone to be able to train our new staff too. So it was a mixture. We had our veterans, and then we hired in new people that learned the ropes and everything like that. Now, they might have had experience in the industry, like the restaurant industry, but as far as the Mocha House goes, the Mocha House way, you know, every restaurant is different. I like to say, once you're in the industry, at least even a little bit, even if it's a little bit, just to know what the restaurant industry is like, all you have to do is adapt. You know, every restaurant is really not that different. It's the same. You know, customer service has to be on point. You got to focus, got to get those orders out, make sure people are happy and everything like that. And then once you have that basis, you can learn the menu, you can learn the drinks, you can learn the desserts. You just have to have that core, you know what I mean? Like that core basis, and then it builds up from there.
Wow, 25 years old, Joe. Look, you are on fire.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Now let's switch gears here a little bit. You guys had just opened when COVID hit. So tell us
That's
about
great timing.
Let me tell you.
That is, you couldn't have planned that better.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, we opened January 20th, and it was fine and dandy. I mean, we started off great, thankfully. That happened in March, and then I was like, oh my God, like not only is this a whole journey of becoming a business owner, something new for me, the whole COVID is new to the whole entire world, right? So we're like, what do we do? I mean, I was terrified, not gonna lie. I just didn't know the right move to make. And I'm like, what do we do? I mean, I know a lot of the businesses were closing, obviously. I'm like, what do we do? Do we stay open? Do we close? To be honest, I am happy that we stayed open. Like, the support that we got from the community, from whenever we shut down, we did takeout only. So from March until May, whenever the dining room opened back up, it like blew me away, the community down here. Honestly, that's what got us through. And when I look back to this year, I'm always going to remember that. Like, I'm never going to forget that. And I became even stronger through that, because if we can get through COVID, we can get through anything. So now that we're back and rolling, dine-in is back. You know, it gave us a chance to start our delivery process and everything. Like, we're like, okay, let's give it a shot, because we didn't deliver when we first opened. So whenever COVID happened, we were doing takeout only. We said, why don't we try the delivery? And that helped us get stronger in that area too. So somehow, some way, everybody learned a little something.
Oh, sure.
For sure.
Absolutely. So you definitely did, well, of course, the decline with the COVID, and all of the restaurants took a hit. So are you seeing your numbers starting to bounce back? I'm a number girl.
I mean, yeah, like substantially the business is definitely picking up for sure. Even just our ticket numbers at the end of the day, like our front of house staff and our back of house staff, we're always communicating like, wow, we're on ticket 200 right now. Wow. You know what I mean? For example. And yeah, it's just, I say it only gets better from here now, because we already went through the tough part. I don't think there's much more to go through than COVID. That was hard for everybody. It's just growing. I'm very happy.
On a typical day, and say you have a customer that's kind of giving you a hard time, how do you do the wow effect where you flip it around and they're like, wow, I think I'll be back?
Something I've learned on that note, just to kind of explain sometimes people are intimidated to deal with others. You know what I mean? Like, over time though, I've learned to just help them to see it my way sometimes, like to help see a different perspective. So if they're not understanding something about an order, they're not understanding why they got charged a certain way, anything that the issue may be, I just try to be transparent about it. I try and be honest, you know, no matter what. Just explaining thoroughly the situation, and then them maybe understanding where I'm coming from. If they're not understanding something about their order, they're not satisfied about something, the way that you flip it around is obviously, you know, apologize, and then, you know, offer something in return, maybe whatever helps to make them, whatever helps to make them happy.
How could you be mad at you?
Thank you. You'd be surprised. It happens. You know, we're human, but I don't know. I like to make sure that they leave happy. If I feel that somebody has not left happy from my store, it upsets me. You know, obviously, any business owner out there, I'm sure that you guys can relate to that. When you put everything in to a certain store or a job or whatever, and and you're there day and night, you want to make sure people are happy. So,
and they've got cheesecake to bargain with. You could
yeah, and the
blackmail it, but yeah.
somehow just,
Can't
you know,
be mad with
let's say we deliver somewhere, we forgot something, we'll go out of our way to run it back down there. Is it one dressing packet or something, one cookie, one something? It doesn't matter. I will take somebody off the line and send them down there and give them what they paid for at the end of the day. When I'm a consumer and I'm paying for something, I want to make sure I get what I paid for too. So I just try and put myself in their shoes as well.
Wow. She's learned this at such a young age.
I know,
It's
I'm telling
amazing.
you.
Now, is your mom and dad also, they're owners as well?
They are.
So do they come down or are they like the silent partner and it's your baby and you go to town?
All three of us put in all the work. I mean,
Wow.
I literally could not do it without my parents. They are like the backbone. There's so many emotions that go through my head all day. Happiness, stress, maybe I'm anxiety sometimes, whatever it may be, but they're there through all the emotions, you know what I mean? And they help me to keep
Grounded.
yeah, exactly. They put in so many hours as well. I mean, I really look up to them. They've been nothing but hardworking my whole life, my whole 25 years of life. That's all I remember them as, and nothing has changed. And that's how they've taught me to be now. So we're all equal. I mean, anything, we've got each other's back. If somebody needs a day off in my family, we're like, okay. I'll be like, Mom, Dad, like, I just need a day off. You guys got this? They're like, yeah, we got this. Or whatever they need, I'm there for them. We just gotta make sure we have each other's back, and that's it.
So were they affiliated with Downtown Warren as well? So this is like...
They were not actually.
No?
I was shaking my head because I was trying to hear your question. They were not associated with Downtown Warren. They were actually in a whole different industry, my parents.
No kidding.
But before that they had their industry, they worked for 25 years for a vending company, local vending company. However, before that, they had experience in the restaurant industry. Both my mom and my dad did. So growing up, I'm talking like my mom would serve, she would do banquets, she had all that knowledge, the customer service. Same with my dad. So they were very, very good in the industry.
So they
from
knew
a
what it
young
takes.
age. Right. And then it just so happened to be that we were just ready for something new. We were all on the same page. We wanted to have something of our own. We wanted to do something of our own, and just
Family.
We have a passion for, you know, serving people and stuff. So it just happened to be the right time and everything. So they did. I would say they had what it took to do that.
And of course, they brought you into this world and you just learned from them. And they were great teachers because you really have your head on your shoulders at the age of 25. So congratulations to them for doing such a great job with you as well. And please go back and tell them that, because,
Thank you.
you know, I don't want to stereotype, but a lot of 25-year-olds are like me. I'm not 25, but I like to pretend. But yeah, they don't know where they're going. They don't know what they're doing. They're still going to college. They don't really have a viewpoint. I mean, am I right? Mario's probably the exception to the rule too. He's pretty grounded. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how much knowledge you have in this industry.
But that's not to say that came easily. I mean, I went through all that. I went through the confusion. I went through 4 years of school. There were times where I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know what the next...
Well, damn it, you do now.
I'm like, I don't know what the next step is. Obviously, this is normal, but my first semester at college was like, I was so confused. I didn't even know what I wanted to do.
Absolutely.
I started out in a whole different field.
What were you going to school for?
I wanted to be a physical therapist from the very beginning, believe it or not, from high school.
Wow.
And so I did exercise science for one semester. Then I switched to business, and then all of a sudden things were just clicking a little bit easier for me. And then, fast forward a few years, the opportunity came about, and here we are. I've always wanted to have a business of my own, and I knew that in college. I just didn't know when. I didn't know where. I didn't know what it was going to be. Nothing like that. So I did go through all that. And our staff, who's students right now, like, I try and be flexible with them because
you've been there.
Simply because I've been in their shoes. I can't say that I haven't, because I'd be lying,
Now, do some of your staff come to you and say, I need some advice?
Sure.
What do I do?
Sure. We're like a family. I mean, we spend so many hours a week together.
Oh, yeah.
It's inevitable to become family. And yeah, I'm there for them anytime. I know I'm not really that much older than them in age, but
in knowledge.
Some of them, yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I know everything, because by any means, like, I'm still learning just as much as they're learning. But as far as like the experience level goes, like, I've experienced some different things at this point in my life, like being an owner now. And if they ever need advice, I'm always here for them, whether it's about, you know, life, school, you know, friends, family, whatever.
Right.
Work.
Right.
I'm here.
Right.
I'm here.
Now, do you have time off for yourself, like to date or to do anything? Go on vacations to?
Yeah. So Sunday is my day off. It's my golden day.
Your golden day.
I like to enjoy my Sundays because we have 7 days a week and I work 6 of them.
Wow.
So my one day off, I do enjoy, of course, with my family and friends. And I am in a relationship as well. So, of course, like, you know, we try and balance that. Obviously, let's just say I'm a busy girl. I'm a busy girl. There's not a lot of time to relax in my world. But if I want, just like when I was in school, like if I want to accomplish all the things that I want to accomplish, then I just have to keep going. I mean, I was in classes, extracurriculars, you know, I had a job. It's really the same thing right now. It's just that I have my career. I also have to balance my friends and family. I have to balance my relationship and somehow making time for myself sometimes, you know, but try.
Now, do you see yourself down the road getting married, having a family and all that?
Sure,
so
absolutely.
How do you balance all that?
Who knows?
Especially in the restaurant industry. It's tough.
You know what I figure? It's like, I'm not the first or the last, I guess, person to go through that. There's a lot of people in my life that are role models who have been owners for years and years, and they have beautiful families, you know, beautiful marriages and everything. So I know that it's possible. I just have to keep like a clear vision. Like I said before, I try and remind myself as well, like sometimes when things seem tough right now, I mean, we're in our first year of business, you know, so there's going to be a lot of trials and stuff, of course, as we're learning, but it's not always going to be tough. I mean, somehow you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to get more comfortable with your process. You're going to learn more, be more efficient, you know, so I figure there will be a light at the end of the tunnel in a few years. That way I can balance a family, balance a marriage and everything. I have goals.
I was just going to say, do you have goals? Do you know where you want to be in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Where do you see?
I do, of course, think about that, but I've learned over time, like, the world is so unpredictable. So now I've learned kind of to like focus on the short term a little bit more. And like I said, not to make it sound like I don't have goals, because I do, absolutely. I have dreams and things that I still want to accomplish in my life. But like, COVID was a good example of that. But not only that, like, things happen in a split second. Life could just change
in a split second,
in like a couple minutes. So now I kind of focus on the short term more, just my day to day. I just try and get through day to day.
Good for you. You sound like him. You sound alike. Now,
I'm serious. Yeah. That's what I do.
You do. You're a very positive person, and that's amazing, because a lot of those people aren't easy to find. I mean, there's so much negativity out in this world right now, and especially this COVID. I think people are up to here with the COVID.
Yeah,
I know I am, and the masks and the, you know.
Everybody's frustrated, you know. That's a very normal emotion, I think, right now. But it is hard to stay positive sometimes. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a human being. I have all kinds of emotions every day. Sometimes I don't show it, you know what I mean? Sure. Because I have to be strong. And I can't obviously like work and life balance. I try and keep them separated because they are two different things.
Sure they
like
are.
When I'm at work, my focus is getting our goals done, you know, getting our goals done for the day, making sure our customers are happy, everything. But my life is a whole different entity. So, you know, but overall, my parents are like positive people too. Good. And they've taught me that. That's another thing that they've taught me is like, it'll be okay.
It somehow always seems to work out no matter what. It really does.
It does.
So do you guys see yourself maybe opening up another Mocha House, or is one good for you? I mean, you're just getting through your first year.
Split her in half and she'll do it.
I know. Honestly, I enjoy what I do. You know, like I wake up in the morning and I don't dread coming to work. You know what I mean? Yes. I enjoy it. And I love business. I really do. That's just something that I've enjoyed since I was young. So that's why I did it in school, graduated with it, and then now I'm doing it now. So is it something I would like to continue? Sure. I mean, why not? If I felt comfortable enough to like, that's not to say other Mocha houses won't open in years to come and everything. As far as me running another location, I think once I get this one down, maybe I'll feel comfortable running a second one myself, you know? I'm not going to say no, because it's not something that I would say no to. You know, like I
This
think
is
that
what
I
you're
could
meant
do
to
it.
do. Yes.
I like it. I like the
you?
industry. I enjoy serving. I really do.
Good. Good. Now, is there any other siblings besides yourself?
Just me.
Just you.
Yeah.
So you guys do run a tight ship down there between your mom and dad and you then. That's gotta
Yeah,
be
we're
tough.
a team.
Oh yeah. Oh
Sure.
yeah. Now, your location down there, I have to be honest, I have not been able to make my way down there yet. But what things do you have to offer? I mean, do you have like little conference rooms down there that you rent out, or what do you have down there to the average coffee drinker to come down and maybe rent the place, or see the place, come on down? Besides the food is amazing and probably the dine-in.
Yep. So when I see people walk into our store for the first time, I always see like this wow factor on their face, and I love it. They're taking in the vibe, they're taking in the atmosphere, taking in
The aroma.
everything. Yeah, they're just all these like sensory emotions are happening at that time, and I love seeing it. As far as when you first get there, you're gonna see like a big dining room. It's all one big dining room. We have our tables spaced apart and everything. There's like a back portion, there's like a front portion, and then like a middle portion, but there's nothing that's like cut out separately as far as a conference room that you touched on or anything. But if people want to make a reservation or something, like we try to put them kind of secluded from the rest of the dining room. That way, if they want to have a meeting or something, I've seen plenty of people do that. We take reservations ahead of time if you want. If you have a certain number of people, just call and we'll reserve, like a section. But as far as a separate room, like some places do, we don't have anything like that right now. But we try to make it work with the space that we have. It seems okay. It's really spacey in there as a whole. I think it's a very good, like a good location and a good, we remodeled it in there, and it's nice.
Now, speaking of your location, like if you were to tell me someplace, instead of going, well, you take Route 82 till you get to Route 11, I would say, well, that little store on the corner, turn left there. And then that BP gas station, then you're going to want to turn right there. So if they were to find it, what places are you by, so that instead of the address, if somebody were to know this store and this store, this business and this business, and you're right smack dab in the center. So what are you by in downtown Youngstown?
So of course we get this question a lot for people coming to visit for the first time. They don't, nobody wants to get lost. Obviously they want to make sure they know where they're going.
That would be me.
So when they call, we kind of just tell them that the first thing I start out with is, Are you familiar with where Eastern Gateway Community College is? That's the first question I ask. If they say yes, then I say we're located on the first floor of that school, right on the corner of East Boardman Street and South Champion Street. If they don't know, if they're not familiar with where Eastern Gateway is, then I say, are you familiar with the Ohio 1 building? That's like my next step, because that's diagonal across from us.
Okay.
So people seem to be familiar with that building, the Ohio 1 building. And then we're also next to the post office, directly next to the post office here downtown. So that's another good selling point for people to understand.
Very good.
We'll have to take a field trip. I'll walk you over there.
It's literally, I walked here today. It's
like
so
right
close.
right there.
I got my fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally diagonal.
I wonder, when we did this coffee taste test that Joe kind of failed miserably.
Man.
Poor guy. We're not judging you. It's okay.
No judge.
Sure.
No judge. But he was literally like, or she was literally like in the parking lot. I'm like, where are you? And I'm looking all around, and here you were at the corner. So I guess that does make sense then. You're just like a stone throw away.
Next week
really
we'll walk down there.
Next week we're
It's
going to
just
walk
one block
down.
away, literally.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about foot traffic around here. Like, there's a lot of businesses down here are so close. I mean, when we deliver to places, it's not more than even a couple miles away. As well as the colleges too. Both YSU and we're right inside of Eastern Gateway. Everything's close by.
That'll
It's
be
very
our
convenient.
Girl on the go segment.
Let's do that. Yeah, really. I'll bring
Yeah.
my
On the
camera
go.
down and-
Yeah, we'll come down. We'll zoom the place, or not zoom, but
course.
we'll take a look at the place, and of course the coffee that you stumped poor Joe on. Tell
Sorry.
us about your coffee.
It's very, very good. I myself, I'm more of an iced coffee type of, drinker. I like my iced coffee. I like my cold brew. We have both of those. As far as our hot coffee goes, we offer our light roast and our bold roast, and they change daily. The flavors, the types. change daily. So we grind them fresh in our store. It smells so good every morning. Like, I wish I could just bottle it up and just take the smell home with me. Like, I love it. So when we do that, our light roast and our bold roast, we grind it and everything, and we're always constantly brewing coffee all day. Of course, you could imagine. If we don't have coffee ready, it's like we cannot start our day.
Wow.
When we get there in the morning, we're like, okay,
That's
is
the
the
first
coffee
thing.
on? Is the coffee brewed? Because at the very minimum, that's what we're known. I mean, that's what people are looking for. We're a coffee shop, and we want to make sure we're ready. So very good.
So the name Mocha House, mocha to me means chocolate. So how did the Mocha House come to be when it's more with coffee and foods and things like that? So explain the heritage name behind it, because it's been there for forever, since I was a little girl.
Yeah, honestly, so it's been around for almost 30 years. Now, the name itself,
Say
the
30
Mocha House, 20, they opened in, oh God, don't quote me. It's up there, 28, maybe 29 years in business. So the Cafe Mocha is like our signature coffee drink. So it's like a chocolatey, like creamy coffee drink. And somehow when people come in and they don't know what to try, I start at the very basic thing, you know, our Cafe Mocha, like somehow that was probably one of the first things on the menu back then.
Okay.
And then as they probably started to try new things, try new coffees, now we're at 2020. Now you can imagine how many more things that they've accomplished as a brand, of course. But way back then, you know, the menu was probably small, and they probably just worked on a couple of items, building those up, and then adding as the years went on. I don't know who even thought of the name The Mocha House. You know, I don't know who in the family or like how that came about, but it's definitely left a lasting impression on the community.
Oh, it's been around forever. Now, the next question, when you guys decide to add things to your menu, so you've got 3 locations, do you have to do like one big meeting and people say, well, let's put this to make each menu consistent? Or does the Mocha House, there are different locations, a few different things?
There are a few different things.
Okay.
I would say that, but not many. I mean, I will say that because consistency really is important. And my partners in Warren, definitely, that's one thing that they've always been, that's been one of their goals, you know, since we've opened the 3rd location now. Like, we have to make sure we're consistent the way that we operate, the way that we, you know, serve people, the way that we handle situations, whatever it may be. Now, if there's a couple different menu items, like we had talked about earlier, some things just do better in a certain demographic area, whatever it may be. Sometimes we have to take something off of our menu that just isn't doing so well, you know, or maybe the other locations are doing well with. So we do try and be consistent. There's just a couple differences. Like, for example, let me think of an example. We just thought of a new wrap for
I was just going to say, if you thought of something new.
That was added to Warren's menu recently. Now, you know, we probably have to add it here soon, because if somebody goes to Warren and they're like, I want the wrap, and then if they come to Youngstown, they're like, well, I got this wrap in Warren, can we get it here? We want to make sure that we're able to serve people the same types of things.
So is it hard to get something passed through the board? In other words?
It's not like super hard, but we just have to make sure if we're not on the same page, then it just won't go through. You know what I mean? Like, if we're on the same page, then we're like, think of an action plan, how to make it happen. If one of us isn't feeling something, then, you know, probably it won't go through, because we have to agree on things. That's what I think. That's what I've seen anyways.
Gotcha. So you guys have constant communication between each and every one of you.
We
so
do
that's
try.
important.
Yep, we do try.
That's important. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, this is my fix here. So I love hearing about
He
this.
loves coffee.
Well, and one thing, like I've always been fascinated with the restaurant business. I told my wife I can start any business, but if I ever say that I'm going to open a restaurant, shoot me. Like, do not allow me to do it. It's so hard, and the margins are tight, and the competition is fierce. So when you see a company doing it well, like, I'm enamored with watching this go down.
I know he's so quiet today.
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
listening. Doing more listening than talking.
Yeah, because I can tell he's like so into your vibe. Because
Yeah,
he's like, yeah,
right.
she's a
Thank you.
positive
Sure.
person. Oh, absolutely.
You know, like I said earlier too, like, we're a new location, but it's been around. So the owners in Warren and the owners in Boardman, they're great. They're like a great support system. I mean, they're like my role models. They've been doing it well for all these years. and I follow in their footsteps, honestly. You know, I have my knowledge and everything like that, but they have even more to teach me. If I need advice, I go to them very first thing because they've been doing it. Odds are they've gone through whatever difficulty or even good thing that I've gone through. They've already gone through all the good and the bad, and they're still learning. So I'm very thankful for that. I really am.
Looking back, when you started opening this business and COVID hit, did you think, oh gosh, what did we do? What did we
For a quick second, I was like, oh my gosh, like, are we ever going to see the light at the end of this tunnel right now? I mean, something was telling me, though, I am a positive person, but something was just telling me that it was going to be okay. I don't know. I went in each day being a little bit anxious, a little bit fearful. I didn't know what to expect each day, but there were some days where I was just like, I don't know. I mean, are we ever going to get through this tough time?
So how many days were you guys completely closed then? Were you like
0?
Oh, I thought maybe you could
through it.
All the way, yeah. We did carry out. Yep, we switched right to carry out. The only thing that we did do, of course, is just change our hours a little bit and scale back on the weekends. But as far as operations go, we stayed open the whole time.
Going.
All 3 locations did.
Wow.
Definitely a passion for serving people, for sure. All 3.
I didn't realize you guys stayed open. I thought maybe you guys would have just completely closed until you got the green light to go ahead. Now, are you guys at 100% capacity now?
We have to scale back on capacity a little bit. So, of course, with our social distancing and everything, every restaurant's different in what they can offer, of course, with how many people they can seat and everything. We're pretty blessed down here. I mean, we have a big space. So the way that we have the table spaced out and everything, it's still not that bad. We're not at full capacity, but when the tables that we do have, those do fill up throughout the week. So like we're at like half capacity, I think, from what we started.
That's great.
By the time that so it's not too bad. It's really not. I mean, it still seats a good amount of people, as much as we obviously with the guidelines can allow, but it's not that shabby right now.
That's awesome, especially just opening January 20th of this year. Look at her, look. Yeah.
It's been the longest year of my life.
Oh, it's been a long year for everybody.
Wow.
Everyone. We've gained some, we've lost some, we've learned a lot. We've gotten through it. I think we're through the pandemic. You know what I mean? It's more than likely going to be here to stay. It's just how you focus on getting through it. And sounds like you guys did an amazing job. I mean, hats off to you guys for going through the rough part of it all. You know, a lot of people would have thrown in the towel. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but the IX Center is no longer after 3 decades. It's closing down. So some businesses were able to weather the storm, others weren't. So,
and my heart breaks for those people that just couldn't.
3 decades.
I did. I heard about the IX Center yesterday. I was sad.
Yeah, it's just, it's unbelievable. Some of these restaurants and things are not going to be able to bounce back. So, I mean, I learned that you can get COVID after 10 o'clock. How about you?
Yeah, right.
Hey, go figure. But no, Kallie, it's been great having you down here. I mean, you've opened up my eye, and I'm a little bit old, just a little bit older than you. And I've learned, what about you, Joe? I mean, this is what our future is going to be.
I know, it's reassuring that you've got these guys running around.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. I am proud of my generation. There's a lot of us out there that really set the bar high. I mean, there's people I went to school with even, and I love seeing people do well, people that I graduated high school with, college with, like they blow me out of the water with some of the things that they're accomplishing. And not only myself, but my peers are accomplishing. I love to see it. I really do. I think that our generation's doing well.
Well, I think
here for us. Woo!
That's right. And I think you're doing extremely well with everything that you have been through and the way that you are handling it all. And then we all know that it's hard to work with family. It is extremely hard to work with family. It can be
some days. We get on each other's nerves. I mean, a day in and day out. But at the end of the day, we're best friends. You know, nothing changes about that. Work and life, like I said, is separate. When we're at work, we don't agree on everything. I mean, we go back and forth. Like I said, get on each other's nerves. We will argue about things that we don't agree on, but we still try and focus on our goals. And then
make a really good reality show. It
Yeah.
really would, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows all
No,
the time.
no.
There's no way
Don't
that we
forget
can
the
agree on
unicorns.
everything. Of course. There's no way that we can agree on everything. We're human beings. So, of course, but it just takes a couple minutes and we're just right back to where we started.
Now, do you live at home still?
I do.
Oh, my goodness. So she doesn't really get the break either then.
Yep.
Unless you guys drive separately to work.
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, we do. Well, my mom and I go in the morning, and then my dad comes later because he stays and
Gotcha.
closes. So we try to rotate a little bit.
So that gives you just a little bit of a break then. And does anything happen interesting in that 1 hour that Dad's closing the store down?
Not too much. It's
No.
pretty tame.
That's
Pretty
good.
tame because we're there like all day, all of us.
Oh, sure.
In the grand scheme of things. So we're working together pretty much all day long. And we've never gone to work together, I'm sure you can imagine, as a family before ever.
Yeah.
All three of us now, we kind of enjoy working with each other every day.
That's-
We like spending time with each other, and if I have something to do, obviously, like a vacation or whatever, I know they've got my back. I've got theirs. So it's
Right.
definitely a teamwork.
Wow.
Let me share a jerk moment.
Jerk moment.
I've been a jerk once or twice. So I was in the Warren Mocha House, and I was having a meeting there. It was way at the end of the day, and it was snowing outside, and I didn't really want to be out there. It was awful. And we're sitting having our meeting, and I'm getting caught up, and I'm watching we're the last people in this place. And when by the time I looked, the place had closed down, right? But they didn't. They were so polite. They didn't come over and kick us out and usher us
they
out.
should have.
They probably would have stayed until midnight if I hadn't looked and said, "Oh my goodness, you guys closed 38 minutes ago." I kept the whole staff there on with my stupid meeting. I got Jerk of the Year award for that.
We
Did you
understand.
tip them nicely?
I did.
Oh, good.
At the end of the day, we know, I mean, this industry, life is busy for everybody. So sometimes I think to myself, if I see hundreds of customers every day, thousands a week. But sometimes some people, maybe it's their only chance to get out and about. And I want to make sure their experience is good.
And they keep coming back. Cha-ching.
That's it.
And yeah, of
Loyal
course, I want
customers,
want them to come back, but
Yes.
people have a busy life. You have a meeting, people have meetings, they want to meet their friends after so many years. Maybe they haven't seen them in years.
Right.
We see a lot of different scenarios, so we just have to learn to be patient with people's needs too. I mean, it's our day-to-day life, but people have things going on. We have to accommodate.
It's that
Even if you do
customer
stay
service.
38 minutes later, it's okay. 'cause
Everybody was swearing at me in the back room. I know it. I know it.
Ew. What is he doing here? Can't he call somebody who cares?
That's so funny.
Aw. No, I gotta tell you, Kallie, really, it's been refreshing to have you, here to the show and talk about your work experience, your ownership experience, family stories. I mean, a girl of 25 years old and has her head where it needs to be and has a future ahead of her. I mean, that's congratulations to you. A lot of people can't say that. So
I try.
yeah,
I try. I'm not perfect, but I do. I try to accomplish what I can. Every day.
I really admire everything that you're doing. So, and I admire the fact and I could just hug you. Social
I like
distance.
hugs, but right now it's a little hard with everything. I like hugs.
Virtual hug for messing him up with the coffee.
I feel bad. I really do.
I mean, if you would, yeah, I know my coffee. Yeah, we're gonna.
The only reason she does is have so cocky going into this, and she just wanted to chop me down a little bit.
It's what I live for.
That was pretty funny.
And I think yours was the first coffee he tried, and he's like, "Oh, I got this."
I wrote down fast and everything. I was like,
Yeah. And then when you're like, nope. But no, it was an awesome time. And again, I don't want to make you late. I know that you have things that you need to get back to, so I'll keep my promise to you. But you'll definitely see us come down there. Girl on the go.
Yeah, we'll take a field trip.
Thank you so
definitely
much
have
for
to come
having
down
me.
and see you.
It's been so fun to be here with you guys.
Good. I'm
Thank you.
glad you took time out of your day. Thanks,
Thank
Mom and Dad, for
you.
letting her come down.
Hope everybody learned a thing or two,
I do
especially
too.
about the Mocha House. And you know, even if you're not here in downtown Youngstown, you make sure you visit the Warren and the Boardman locations too. I mean, we have 3 locations because we want to cater to as many people as we can.
Right.
So come and visit us wherever you are. I mean, thank you so much for allowing me to get the word out about where we're located.
Absolutely.
And even that we have a 3rd location, because a lot of people don't even realize that yet.
Yes.
So we're all here. We're ready to make everybody, you know, happy, our customers happy, and try and serve our community. So thank you so much, Justine.
Again, Kallie, thank you so much for coming down today. I can say I've learned so much about you, your family, the restaurant industry, the Mocha family. I've learned a lot about that. So I'm a Warren resident, so I've been there forever, and I know the Mocha House has been there forever, and it's just a staple. So I'm glad that you were able to move out to this area and open the branches around here. We are going to come down and see you.
Thank you very much.
Right.
We'll be there.
So join me this Tuesday as we welcome the round table discussion with, we've got Third Day Coffee coming up, High Octane, Havana House, Branch Street, and they're all coming to the Youngstown studio. So we're going to do a round table, and they're all going to talk business like what you had the chance to do today. It's going to be interesting. They'll talk coffee probably mainly with Joe, and he'll be trying to guess their different coffees, maybe. I don't know.
It's a 3rd chance.
So that's coming up this Tuesday. So if you miss a minute, you miss a lot. Make sure you see us on Tuesday. Thanks for watching. I'm Justine Thomas.